it's Jen with the Flowering Farmhouse, and today I want to show you how to make a spring indoor planter. So one of my favorite things to do when it is not quite warm enough to plant outside, but the days are getting longer, the sun is out, is I love to bring flowers indoors. So I have picked up 4 primrose plants. I've got 2 yellow and 2, it's kind of a pinkish purple here, so I have these 2. And then I'm not sure if this will all fit in here or not yet, but I picked up this grape hyacinth. I'm gonna plant this in here. After it is done in here, I will eventually save these bulbs and put them outside so that next year I have them in my garden. And then I also picked up a white tulip. So a nice spring Easter palette. This would be something that would be a perfect little Mother's Day gift. You could use this for an Easter tablescape. You could put it on your kitchen island. And then I found this great white spring planter. Since I am planting this inside because it's a little too cold to be outside for this video today, I just put a little baking sheet down. I pre-filled this with potting soil. It's nice and soft. It's already a little bit damp. And then by having this baking sheet here, I'll hopefully contain some of the mess. So I'm just gonna start by actually just moving this around. So what I'm doing is I am making a little indentation here, and I'm gonna start with one of these primrose. So I'm gonna squeeze on the sides and lightly let it out of here. And then this one isn't too badly root bound, but you can see the roots here. I'm just gonna lightly pull them apart, and that way the roots can start growing in this. So I'm gonna just tuck this in this little corner here, and I'm not gonna worry about making it too perfect yet, but I'm gonna do 1 yellow, and then on this side here, I'm gonna put this pink one here. So again, I'm gonna squeeze, just pull this out here. And this one has a little bit more roots, so I'm just gonna softly break up the roots so that they can grow in the planter here. And then I'm gonna just tuck that in there, and I'm gonna kind of move some soil. So what I'm doing is I am pushing the soil up and around the base of the plants. Now before I do the other 2 sides, I'm gonna add in the center here, and I'm just using my hands. I love getting my hands dirty, part of being a flower farmer. And this time of year, I am craving that as it is still a little early. I'm doing lots of seed starting, but I have not started planting outdoors yet. So this one has pretty good roots coming up through it. So I'm gonna gently pull this out. And I should note that before planting these, I gave all of these a nice watering so that the soil would hold together, the plants would be happy. And so on this one, I'm just kind of pulling these roots apart. This you can see has been growing for a while, and I'm making a little bit of a mess here, but that's okay. So all right, I have the roots pulled apart, and I am just gonna tuck this in right in the center here. I'm gonna just push some soil. So if I turn this around here, I'm just pushing some soil up around, and I'm pushing this in. And now I'm gonna add, over in this corner, I'm gonna add another one of the yellow primrose. So this one has a bunch of roots coming out the bottom, so I'm just gonna gently pull it out. And you could do this with all kinds of spring plants. I think each of these were, well, the tulip was $3.48. Most of these were under $2. So a pretty inexpensive spring planter to bring indoors. You could even put it on an outdoor patio depending on where you live. I am in Oregon in zone 7B, so it's a little bit cold still. We're still having some frosts at nighttime, so I'm not quite ready to put these kind of things outside. Although some of these flowers can tolerate a little bit better than others. So now I've got these in here, and I'm going to attempt to squeeze in the tulip and the primrose. Let's see if we can do this here. I love tulips around Easter time. They're one of always the first signs of spring. And this one has quite the root ball going on here. So I'm gonna, in the soil, I honestly forgot to water this one down. So this one I'm gonna be very gentle because the soil is all coming off of here. And let's see. I'm just carefully pulling this apart so they can grow. And then I'm gonna really get down in here, and I'm just tucking this in. And I'm not worrying about it being perfect yet. And then I'm going to create a little bit of space right here for the pink primrose to go. And so I'm going to pull this one out. And this one doesn't have very many roots, so I'm going to just push this in right here. And then I have brought in from the garage with me some extra soil. So I'm just going to lightly sprinkle some in. This potting soil is super light, so I can push it down in and pack it around these plants here. And so I'm just going to go like this. And I'm just patting it down. The hyacinth doesn't look super happy right now because I just disturbed it and its roots. Once it gets some water and a little bit of time to adapt to its new surroundings, it should perk right back up. And I also, before planting, I should have waited to do it on the video, I deadheaded any of the dead primrose flowers. So like this one here, I'm just gonna reach in and I just pulled that stem off. So any that don't look super happy, you can pull off and encourage the plant to grow more. And if you do that while it's sitting on your counter or wherever you put your little display, you will keep it blooming longer because it'll encourage the plant to grow more flowers. Okay, so now I have it all tucked in here. You can save these and you can use these to start other flowers from seed. You do want to always wash these and make sure that they are well disinfected. So in case there is any germs or disease in the soil from the plants, that you don't transfer them on to another plant. So here we have our spring planter. And then I'm just gonna give it, I've got a vase right here and I'm gonna give it a little bit of water, just going slowly. And after watering it, you may discover that you need to add more soil. But I'm just gonna lightly pour this in, make sure that all of them get a fresh drink of water so that they can start growing in this new surrounding here. And this pot does have a hole in the bottom of it, which you can see down here for drainage. So if you were to put this on a counter, you're gonna wanna have a plate or a plastic saucer or something underneath this so it doesn't ruin your counters. So here I'm just pulling off another dead flower. And then I just need to shake off a little bit of the dirt. And there is our spring planter. All right, I hope you found this helpful. If you are looking for any gardening tips, I have a whole bunch of gardening articles that you will find on my blog at thefloweringfarmhouse.com. Thanks for joining me today. Happy spring.